Hello, hello, welcome. We are back. It's been a long time, and I know I'm starting a little late. I had a little bit of a technical glitch for a bit, but I am back here with you live for Love Tips and Velvet Lips. So with that said, oh my gosh, it's been a long time. So I know normally I've been here on Fridays at 5 p.m. And then I was like, I don't think this is working out. I think I need to go back to the Mondays at 9 a.m. And luckily for me, I have the kiddo in preschool now. So now I have 9 a.m. readily available to answer any and all of your questions or talk about like all of the things that has happened during the week and beyond, and really just to kind of get an update on what y'all have been up to since we last got together. So if you don't know where to submit your questions, you can submit your questions here at qrco.de/lovetipsama. And that will send you anonymously to my tool or to my questions. And then I will be able to put your questions up and get all the answers and things that you will need to hopefully guide your wonderful day. So I am pulling those questions up now. Just to let you know, we are here live on Facebook. We are here live on YouTube. We are live on X, aka Twitter, and we are live on Instagram. So if you have a question, comment, any of those things, please feel free to put them in the comment section. And I will type it for you all /LoveTipsAMA if you want your question answered. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, y'all, if you have not gotten my free erotic activity bucket list, please make sure you check that out. Download that free activity bucket list. Super helpful. If you want to discover more things about yourself, that would be a really great way to go about it. If you have a lover, it's really fun to just fill it out separately and then trade it. And then that way, both of you can see what you are into. So there is that. Okay, so with that said, let me pull up some things. This weekend, I was at the Exotica Expo teaching. So went there on Friday night just to get a lay of the land, check out everything. If you're not familiar with Exotica Expo, please check it out. My good friend and colleague, Tayomi Morgan, put together the Sexpert Corner and put together all the seminars of the weekend. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to teach yesterday because I didn't have childcare. My childcare fell through. But that's okay. It was my spank me, slap me. So if you happened to be at Exotica and you were like, oh, I was looking forward to that class, please feel free to email me. And I'm happy to send the virtual version over to you. But I did teach my Pursuing Unicorns, Threesomes, and More class on Saturday night, which is really fun and exciting. I had a really great time. And I think people learned a lot. I got a lot of great feedback from folks. So yeah, some really good stuff here. So with that said, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I am just like, wow, it's been a long time since I've done this show. And of course, we just, it was Pride Month last month. This month is all about pleasure. It's all about the big O, the climax, the thing that you want to get to. probably each and every time that you are by yourself or with a lover, it's one of those things you really want because it feels good. You know what I mean? And it's helpful for your heart, all the good stuff, all the happy hormones. So, getting to that big O, getting to your climax is getting to your euphoria is going to be one of the best ways to connect with yourself. And unfortunately, what tends to happen is a lot of people tend to sacrifice that or don't think that having the big O is like, I heard it like, oh, pleasure is the goal, have some pleasure. But the O is just the cherry on top. And I'm like, yeah, but is it though? Like, I feel like it should probably be a requirement, because who doesn't want to have the O? Yes, pleasure feels good. But like with any goal-oriented thing, right, we want to be able to experience that pleasure. It makes us feel good and it makes us feel confident. And it helps with our, it helps with maintaining our libido. It helps with pheromones. It helps our happy hormones, the serotonin, like all the wonderful things. It helps with all of those things, right? So it's one of those things that you're just going to have to think about. And, I hope that you aren't sacrificing yourself, without having that. But of course, pleasure is always number one. And this week, I wanted to talk about sort of brakes and accelerators, right? Good morning, Candace. Thanks for tuning in. So this week, we're starting off with July. We're thinking about brakes, accelerators. What does that mean? That means that there are certain things that are going to get you there, and there are certain things that are going to pull you back, right? And those are the brakes and accelerators, right? So we call that in the sexological world, in the sexology world, right, the SIS and the SCS, which is the sexual inhibitor syndrome or symptom, and sexual system, and the sexual exhibitor system, right? So thinking about how we move forward, what are the things that are going to get us there? So maybe you're thinking about your laundry. So maybe if your laundry was just done, then you'd be able to feel more pleasure. You'd be more open and accepting to pleasure, right? What are the things that are needed in order for you to move forward? And that's why a lot of the things that I teach around the communication skills is saying, hey, how are you planting these seeds for your lover to help them be emotionally ready to move towards that goal, move towards that big O, that climax, that euphoria, right? And so I would love for you to think about, and if you could put it in the chat for me, I would love for you to think about, what are you doing to help yourself be emotionally ready, right? So is it cleaning up your space? Like maybe you are a visual person and you're like, this space is a wreck. I need to clean up, because they say, a clean house is a clean mind or something like that. I don't know. But dirty house, dirty mind. Anyway, just thinking about what are the things that are in place that can help you move forward in whatever it is that you're moving forward with, right? Or to help you get you there. So if you have a lover, what are the things that they can do to help you move forward, right? That's the accelerator, right? Then there's the things that can stop you. So again, are these chores or dealing with the kids, or maybe there's something going on with your body, or maybe there's some work issues. Maybe there's, something else going on that is really affecting how you are moving. And if it's stopping you, that means it's stopping you from moving forward in your desire, in your libido. And that could be detrimental if, these things can help you, help bring you happiness, right? So you really want to get in a place where you are moving into, your happiness, right? So, yeah, think about what your breaks are, think about what your accelerator points are. And if you have not downloaded my art and science of class, check it out. My arts, I'm gonna type it in so you have it. It's a free class, so if you haven't taken it already, it's great because it really goes over the basis of the seduction learning styles. And you can just download that on my shop and on my website, right? So please check that out. It's a free class and it helps you to see, are you visual? Are you auditory? Are you tactile? And what are the ways that you get turned on, right? And in addition, it helps you to know if your lover will also be turned on, okay? So what are the things that your lover needs in order to be turned on by you, right? And of course, similar to like love languages, everybody's going to be different. So you need to be able to cater to your lover to help that, okay? So please check that out. Get the free class, download it and see what you can discover about yourself. But again, think about those brakes and accelerators. It's a really great book if you don't have it already. And I think Emily Nagoski has come out with another one already, but this one goes into detail about it, Come As You Are. I really like the book just because it just tells you a whole bunch of highlighted stuff here. But it really just helps you think about the context in which you are doing things, right? So again, like thinking about the inhibitor system, like when you're stressed out, your brain interprets just about everything as a potential threat. So you just, you want to eliminate those stresses. So what are the things that are stressing you out? And a lot of times when I'm working with clients, that's the first thing I have to talk about or I have to address is like, what are your stressors? Because those are the things that are going to inhibit us to process or even to move forward in the work, right? So maybe the stressors are there's additional people in your house, maybe even kids. There's maybe you have work stress, maybe relationship stress, maybe financial stress, right? Like all of these different kinds of stresses, maybe health stress, all of these things. Oh yes, Candace, you love the book. Yes. The book is so good and it's an easy read, very fast, but all of those different stresses can really inhibit our desire, inhibit our libido. And so as long as we can work on those stresses, those are the things that are going to help us, right? So sometimes I had a client that was like, my weight is bothering me, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm like, okay. And if you lose weight, do you think that your libido will go up? Absolutely. Yes. Okay. Well, then that means you need to commit to maybe working out every day or figuring out a new eating habits, eating and drinking habits, things like that could really deter you could really detract you from your goal, right? So I just think it's really, really important that we understand all of the different stressors in our life and to know that if these things are stressors, that these are inherently going to inhibit how we move in our body intimately. Trying to be so careful with my words, y'all. It is quite difficult. Even though I contacted ChatGPT and was like, hey, ChatGPT, what are some family-friendly ways of saying all these things? It's still quite stressful to think about how to navigate my language in order to please the algorithm gods. So I just want to put that out there just so you know. I'm like, oh, this is the way that I'm talking because it's just the way that it is. Let's see what else. But there are things that can move us forward, right? Like, what are the things that we desire? I remember I had a client who talked about, I was saying, like, what are the things that, what are the things that turn you on, right? What are the things that really, really turn you on? And they were like, I don't know. I don't know what turns me on. And I just found that to be really kind of shocking, right? Because I'm like, what? Like, how, right? Like, how? You should know what turns you on. What gets you hot in the pants, right? If you know what gets you hot in the pants, please feel free, put it in the chat. Let me know what gets you hot in the pants. And I remember when I was younger, things that got me hot in the pants are very different from now. What things get me hot in the pants. So things that got me hot in the pants when I was younger, there were very physical things, right? I'd be like, ooh, I love like broad shoulders and like, I love muscles, right? And, I love very masculine features, right? And so these are the things that I'm like, oh yeah. And I still love those things. But what I was finding is that, yeah, I would have those things, but then like the other parts of the package weren't that great, right? And so it'd be like, oh, I have this thing, but yeah, now what turns me on is like, jobs and financial security and, lots of other things that make me feel very, safe and secure. So those things are desirable to me, right? Somebody who's paying attention, somebody who's being thoughtful, really thinking about my needs and whatnot. So again, it changes over time. Of course, if your needs change over time, that's just kind of how it is. So I would love for you to put it in the chat. What are your, okay, yes, Central Sweet Coaching, sexting and audio and images, yes, role playing, ooh, deep dive check-ins, like not even the small talk. I love that. You're like, not the small talk, but like some deeper dive check-ins. Ooh, and texture, yes, I love those things. Those are really great things to think about. Oh yeah, textures are fun. You might be a little bit tactile too. Like those textures, sexting, audio, images, all those things. Yes. But yeah, the things that we desire maybe before like 10 years, 20 years ago might be different now, right? So I would love for you, to really think about, what is it that turns you on? What do you desire? What is it that, that makes you happy? And if you are in a long-term, relationship, what are the things that have, kept you happy, or what are the things that you've had in the past, right? Candace said, yes to texture. Give me a fur blanket. Yes. Fur blankets are very nice, aren't they? Yes. The soft little furs. Mm-hmm. Yes. If you're kinky, it might be leather, might be rubber, anything like that. Textures are very nice, and textures on people, right? So in my class, I talk about, wearing different textures. A lot of times we just wear, everyday kind of cotton, whereas we could be wearing, I don't know, seersucker, lace, suede, velvet, leather, latex, linen, all sorts of different kinds of textures, because when you do textures, that means it helps tactile people ready to touch you, right? Because they're like, ooh, I want to touch that on you. What is that? I want to feel it, right? And so anything that you can do to help with those feelings are going to be very, very helpful. Special Coach says, I am. Yes. Awesome. So yeah, what do you desire? What turns you on? All of those different things are going to be necessary for you to really connect with yourself, but also deliver that message to other people. You know what I mean? So any other lovers that you have, you can sit there and say, oh yeah, this is what turns me on. This is what I desire. This is what makes me happy. And, having a list of those is super helpful. I have a couple, and they had a beautiful contract that they had made, and they listed all the things. And I'm telling you, all the things. This was definitely above and beyond what the scope of the work was, but it's just something that they wanted to do. And it was great because they were just like, okay, we're going to be, we want to do this. This person's into this. This person's like sort of into this, but they will do it if they want to experiment, try this or try that. It's like a whole bunch of other, like all the different sort of microcosms of intimate action that they could do that would help facilitate their experiences with each other. So I definitely encourage you to write down all of those things that like make you happy, and then communicate those things to a lover, not just like, leave it alone. So super, super important to communicate those things as well. So yes. All right. Let me see if got any questions here. Oh, I don't have any questions yet, but hey, y'all, I'm here. If you want to send me your question, I am open week today. If you're just joining us, we talked about sort of brakes and accelerators. What are the things that are going to move us forward? What are the things that are going to hold us back when it comes to getting pleasure or obtaining the big O or experiencing climax or euphoria, bliss, all of those different things that make you happy, right? So that's what we are talking about. If you haven't gotten my class yet, please make sure you check out my free class, and you can find that in my shop. You can also, if you're like, I just want to explore something new, you can download an erotic activity bucket list at that link. It's a bit.ly link, bit.ly/eroticme. And again, if you are interested and you don't want to put your questions in the chat, you can submit your questions at qrco.de/lovetipsama, and that will get you anonymously, and I will answer your questions, put them up on the screen, and make sure that happens for you. In the month of July, we are going to be talking all about pleasure, all about the big O. We're going to be talking next week. We're going to be talking about flirting and the difference between flirting and seduction. The week after, we're going to be talking about big O challenges, what kinds of challenges happen, why they happen, all the things. And then, of course, I love to put things into practice. So how do we practice that pleasure? What does that look like overall? So again, thinking about this week, I really want to encourage you to think about what are the things that move you forward in your desire? What are the things that are holding you back? How can you emphasize the things that move you forward? And how can you alleviate those stressors that are holding you back? So again, yes, please, of course, if there's other random questions that you have about anything, whether it's around intimacy, relationships, communication, anything that you know I am well versed in. And if I'm not well versed in, I will happily make a referral. Please feel free to send them over to me. So I will be happy to make that happen. Anywho, I think that might be it since I have no more questions. It doesn't look like, but thank you all for joining today for this beautiful little half hour of talking with you around brakes, accelerators, things that move us forward, things that keep us back. And I hope you have a wonderful and amazing week. So again, talk to you later. Please catch me at velvetlipsexed.com. If you have any questions, you can email me at gettips@velvetlipsexed.com. Thank you so much for viewing, and I will see you all later.